Botham took 5 for 1 in a spell or something. And I was one of the 5 and played a terrible shot. Well, what do? I still haven't forgiven myself, never will. I should have won the game for Australia, but I didn't.
Again, you know, we knew that it's a small total, but it's more the build-up. You know, why England got to 150 ahead. That was the frustrating thing, and it sort of adds to your frustration in that we had England in strife again. They were probably, again, 6 or 7 for, and all the batsmen were out, including Botham. And the scores were tied. So we'd batted once, and they were in their second innings. We'd both batted, and they're in the second innings, 7 wickets down, and only around about our score. So basically 7 for none in their second innings. And they scraped and scrounged out another 150. Then we have to go and chase 150 to win the test. So there was that real sense of frustration that we'd let the game slip again. So yes, leading into our second innings batting, we knew it was going to be hard work.
Having won the previous game at Leeds with fewer runs to play with, then the message is always the same. Okay, remember what we did last game, got a few more runs to play with this time, we can do it again. But there would have been that feeling, I'm sure, that the pitch was a better pitch in Birmingham. So again, everything has to be right.
We were cruising along reasonably well. I can remember batting myself with Graham Yallop, and so we're only, I think, 3 for pretty close to 100. The runs are not flowing. You know, it's a real, real grind to, get to this target. But all of a sudden we started to get to, that sort of, those little targets that you set yourselves. Okay, we've got to 100. We've got wickets in hand, so only another 50 to go.
And all they had to do was just bat properly for another hour. And that was the game won, and they're back in control of the series. And yet, when you've got both of them around in that sort of mood, and you've got Brealey saying, just tug in those strings. I never know what Brealey said to both of them, but whatever it was, it certainly worked. As I say, Beefy, when he's in that sort of mood, just senses that there's a chance to do something special.
Yeah, I guess all good players are like that. They get their tail up, they can smell the blood, and they seem to perform better. But I never really thought Botham was a great bowler, and I suppose silly me for not thinking he was that good.
It was Allan that got out to John Embry, I think it was, turned and bounced from nowhere and gloved it, and I think it might have been Gatt, who's usually at short leg, took the catch.
And that's well bowled. Out of a bit of rough stuff there. Border is gone for 40.
And then Mike Brealey suggested I bowl before that, and I said, when he took the wicket, I said, right, I'll have a go now. I think this is the right time.
5 wickets left, 37 needed to win, and Brealey's brought Botham back to bowl at Marsh. Bowled him. 114 for 6. He's out. LBW. First ball and
you can sense the pressure building, because you see batsmen thinking, once you see them thinking, how do I get a run here? Then you realise you've suddenly got control of the game again. And for Beefy this time, forget the bat, he just picked up wickets, and he just looked unplayable.
But the ball, we got it reversed, and we didn't realise what we were doing. It just suddenly you think, well, why is it doing that? And the science of reverse swing came a little bit later.
Botham again to count.
And he's bowled him, and that surely is going to be it. A joyous, triumphant Botham there. Arms aloft again, 121 for 9.
You only really think you've got a chance of winning when the final important events take place. So when Botham starts taking wickets, then you suddenly think, well, actually, we've still got half a chance here.
What people have to remember, and I think if you ask the Australian players, the thing that they'll tell you was the crowd, the atmosphere. It was chocker, and it's not called the Bullring for no reason. And they were right behind England. The noise was deafening. As soon as I started to run in the bowl, It went to a crescendo. It was amazing, absolutely amazing atmosphere. And I think, in fairness, the crowd probably got 3 or 4 of those wickets.
That's it this time. He's made sure he's taken 5 wickets. He grabs the stump, and another memorable victory for England.
It's history. He, within a blink of the eye, he'd taken 5 for none, 5 for 1 or something. We were game over. England are running off the field celebrating, and another game has slipped us by. Just real gut-wrenching stuff to be sitting in a dressing room under those circumstances.
Yeah, it was strange, the pitch, actually, because it didn't look bad and it didn't play badly, and yet for some reason everyone kept getting out. On both teams, no one made a big score either way, I don't think.
It's one of the most amazing things. Birmingham is notoriously a good batting pitch, and for no one to make a 50 in that test match, bowlers must have bowled very well.
It's a quiet dressing room. No one knows quite what to say. You might have post-mortems later on, but at that time, we just knew that we'd let another game pass us by.
I mean, sure, they could bowl, but you shouldn't get bowled out for that sort of. It was bad batting.
The batting just again let us down. So as a batsman, you sort of take it a bit personally that as a group we couldn't get 150. It's just not good enough.
And there's not much you can do about it now, unfortunately. It was a long time ago, but I still, as I said, I hate talking about it because it's painful.
He had confidence and bravado, and he backed himself. And look, he was a superb player. We respected him very highly. But in saying that, he was one of those bowlers that attacked you, and you felt you could attack him back.
That's it this time.
I hit the stumps a few times, so something was right. It was a terrific series to play in, if you're English.
I mean, every time you go to England, you hear enough about it, and I go to England quite a bit, so that's why sitting in a dressing room in Australia, I don't like talking about it.
My choice, because it really finished the match, Botham.
If you look back through Ashes series, you've got your own personal moments, and if you're a witness to things such as Headingley, Old Trafford in that same series, Birmingham, where Botham is doing extraordinary things, where Willis is doing extraordinary things, you are going to treasure those memories for a long, long time because they are eternally special.